Today on Monkey Life, Alison responds to an urgent call from the RSPCA.
Today's an emergency situation, and we just have to hope that everything's going to be okay for the monkey that we haven't even seen or met yet.
Will Kai be able to handle life without his mum?
I'm hoping it will be all positive and he won't get upset.
And gibbon Fox gets some very special attention.
Good boy.
Monkey World, nestled deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate neglected and abused primates from all over the world.
They're all going to have a chance to live proper lives again. Perfect.
The park provides a home for more than 240 monkeys and apes, and the aim is to give them as natural a life as possible. Alison and her team are often called in to rescue primates from appalling conditions. Like Arthur, the capuchin monkey found in an emaciated condition in a back garden in Somerset.
Oh, dear.
No hair.
Oh, dear.
Sometimes, members of the public will contact them, but they also work with the police and animal welfare groups. They carry out their own undercover investigations, such as this one in Turkey with Chardy.
That poor chimp, you know, had its family killed in Africa, had its teeth knocked out, gets shoved in hot clothing to get dragged around these beaches for tourists to take photographs with. It's just desperate.
An urgent call has come in from the RSPCA. They found a squirrel monkey living in a cage on its own on an industrial estate near London. They need Alison's help to confiscate and rehome it.
Report came in last evening that there was a monkey in a small cage that looked very poorly, and people were concerned about it. This morning, the RSPCA inspector has gone out to the industrial estate and indeed found what she believes is a squirrel monkey at the back of some offices, effectively in the dark, in a cage, all by itself. So today's an emergency situation, and we just have to hope that everything's going to be okay for the monkey that we haven't even seen or met yet. Yep, there she is. Let's do it.
When they arrive, the monkey has already been taken out of the building and he's in a bird cage inside the RSPCA van. Charlie has been living in this unheated office for the last 2 months. There are no laws to stop anyone keeping a pet squirrel monkey so long as it's in a suitable environment. Although Charlie has been removed, his owner could get another one in the future. Alison makes sure that he's aware of what he's been doing wrong.
No, the only thing I'd say to you is that if you're considering keeping a primate as a pet, then the things you're going to need to do in this country to keep from having the law on your back or RSPCA coming after you, or even us coming after you, are having a companion and also indoor, outdoor. And this is just word of advice to you because you seem like a reasonable gentleman. This type of cage offers the monkey nowhere to shelter to get away from. There's no natural aspect to that. They should be living in an indoor-outdoor accommodation. They should be able to get out into the fresh air and have fresh air on their face, wind through their coat.
And it's vital that they get the right nutrition.
I didn't look on your diet sheet yet, but I can't see any vitamin supplements here for the monkey to just be kept indoors. If the monkey is being kept solely indoors, it is quite important, especially for a young individual whose bones are fusing, to actually get the appropriate vitamins in their diet so that they don't get rickets.
Okay.
There's nothing in here.
I didn't think I was doing anything wrong, but however, they seem to have the opinion that I do.
Alison's keen to get a good look at young Charlie, waiting inside the RSPCA van.
Hey, little man. Are you a good boy? Because this just goes up and down. Yep.
She thinks he's still quite young.
What you got there? He looks in pretty good condition. We'll see what he's like when we get back to the park, but just want to make sure that these doors are secure and all's ready to go, but yeah, he seems all right. Good little man. What you doing? Hey, little boy.
Charlie will travel back to Monkey World in Alison's car.
We'll just see how this pans out in the end. Once again, I don't know that this gentleman actually meant any ill will to the monkey, but the breeders and dealers who are selling these monkeys just really aren't caring for their welfare at the time being, so we'll just have to wait and see how this pans out. But most important, let's get Charlie sorted.
Charlie's been through a lot, and now he's got a 2-hour journey back to the park. But he's looking bright enough, and his whole life is about to change for the better. Another pair who arrived at the centre following an RSPCA investigation are cotton-top tamarins Alice and Uncas. They were discovered in 2008 when police and RSPCA inspectors raided a puppy farm in Kent. These two were living in terrible conditions and, like Charlie, brought to the park for a new beginning. Although they had been sold as a breeding pair, they think Alice was already an old lady and unlikely to have babies. Uncas is younger, but despite the age difference, they're devoted to each other.
They spend a lot of time together, grooming and sitting in the basket, so they seem to really enjoy each other's company, and they've obviously been together for quite a long time, so they've got to know each other well. So yeah, they do make a very good pair.
In the wild, cotton-top tamarins live in social groups of up to a dozen members. Their diet is made up of fruit, insects and tree sap. They can only be found in a small corner of northwest Colombia, but even there, their numbers are declining rapidly. It's thought there are only about 6,000 left, so they're critically endangered. Today, Alice and Uncas are about to get a rather wriggly snack.
So I'm just scattering these bugs around the bedroom for the tamarins, just so that when they come in, they have to look for them, so they're not just in one place.
But elderly Alice can't move around so easily these days, and Donna has to make sure they're within her reach.
Just placing some of them strategically in places that I know that Alice will go to, otherwise Uncas will just eat all of them and Alice won't get any. So yeah, just trying to move them around the enclosure.
Uncas soon gets to grips with them. But Alice is catching on fast. She's got her own technique for tackling this tasty snack that fights back.
Bugs clearly don't like being eaten, which is why they bite, but the tamarins know that, so they bite off the head first before they get bitten. Yeah, but it is a really good treat for them and they seem to love it.
They try to encourage them to hunt for the bugs like they would in the wild, but it can be a struggle for elderly Alice. Although the bugs are hand-delivered here, they still have to search for them.
Alice does have a little bit of difficulty because she only has a few teeth left, so she doesn't have the teeth to bite off the head. So she tends to kind of like put it in her mouth and just pull it, like gum it, which we've seen with some of our other older primates as well. So slightly different technique, but she gets the same end result, so it works for her.
Not all treats come in the form of food. At the gibbon house, Mueller's gibbon Fox is about to get some very special attention. Mueller's gibbons are an endangered species and the only gibbon endemic to the island of Borneo.
Good boy, come here. Hand. Good boy. We try and oil Fox every day, basically because he's quite prone to having dry hands and feet. He does get a few calluses as well. So yeah, we try and do it daily just to keep him nice and soft and supple.
Everyone gets a bit of rough skin now and then, but it's even worse for primates like Fox. He originates from steamy tropical forests.
He needs a bit of humidity to keep his skin nice and supple and in good condition. So here, obviously, we have to just help him out a little bit because the climate is quite dry.
Fox came to the park from Taiwan in 2000, yet another victim of the illegal pet trade.
Good. Good boy.
Because he was used to living alongside people and likes a bit of TLC, he's been easily trained to cooperate when he needs treatment.
With the likes of Fox, who have come from quite a humanised background, he's very used to human contact. So for that reason, because he does seek out, you know, a little bit of grooming time, for example, offering his arm out or his foot, for example, we have taken advantage of that.
Fox. And good boy.
Massage complete, Fox puts those pampered hands and feet to good use. And he's full of energy after this special treatment.
Fox is a big show-off. He loves human attention, so he does obviously display quite a lot, bounces and obviously vocalises quite a lot as well.
At the orangutan nursery, young Kai has settled in well. He had to move out of Gordon's group 2 weeks ago because he was becoming too mature to live with another adult male. All the young girls love him. But there's one rather large lady who's been left on the sidelines. Oshine has gone from Kai's centre of attraction to being largely ignored, and she's a bit put out about it. When Kai first moved in, he just couldn't leave her alone, but she was a bit frightened by his behaviour.
He changed his approach to her then and went in with a much softer approach, and that's what made the breakthrough. I think she was wondering why he wasn't paying attention to her and looking at him from across the room, wondering what he was doing.
Oshine has gradually gained confidence, and now she's happy to have Kai around. He's become the darling of the nursery group, but today could be a tough one for him. He's going to be allowed into the outside enclosure, and it's right next door to his old group. He'll be able to see his mum Xiao Kuai with the rest of his family, all getting on with their lives. Jarno's making sure there are no weak points in the enclosure, just in case Kai tries to make it back to his old family.
It's what his reaction might be when he sees his mum. I'm hoping it will be all positive and he won't get upset. But you don't know, sometimes they do, so we're looking out for that and a little bit worried.
Right, come on guys.
As soon as the door is opened, Xiao Ning leads the gang out, with Kai hot on her heels. But he's overtaken in the tunnel by Linga when he realises he's about to enter unfamiliar territory. The usually happy-go-lucky Kai is now not so sure of himself. He's checking out his new space very tentatively. Maybe it'll all look safer from up high. It doesn't take him long to spot the neighbours.
He's had a look, Xiao Kuai's outside, she's over the road, and he's had a couple of glances over there.
From his vantage point, Kai can get a good look at his mum and old friends next door. But is he upset that he's no longer living with them?
To be honest, he doesn't mind. He's having a whale of a time with the girls outside, so I don't think he's bothered that he's not with Mum anymore.
Oshine eventually comes out to see what's going on, and as usual, she's got baby Sylvester in tow. She's watching Kai up on the climbing frame.
She actually seems more relaxed than she was inside, which actually surprises me. I think maybe the extra space is helping. But the biggest indication to us is that she's let Sylvester go. Sylvester's going off and doing a bit of exploring as well, so usually that would show us that she's not needing the security of him quite as much. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy she feels better and she's happy Kai's there.
Kai's in seventh heaven, dividing his attention between all the ladies in his life. He's not looked back since he joined the nursery group. And he's a hit with everyone. It's well into the afternoon when Charlie the squirrel monkey arrives at Monkey World. Jeremy and the team immediately get him settled into a temporary home. Right now, there aren't enough bedrooms in the squirrel monkey house, and he needs to be assessed before he moves in with the others.
Write that down.
853.
With his weight checked, they'll be able to monitor his progress when they get him on a proper diet. The neighbours are fascinated by the new arrival.
What's his name?
Charlie. I've zip-tied both of those, so...
Charlie is curious about his new surroundings.
Yeah. Come on, little man.
Now that he has space to move around, the team can check out if he has any mobility problems.
Good jump.
And so far, he's doing okay.
Moving around really well, he's had a big drink, and he's tucking into all the food that we've put in as well. So far he looks really good.
Oh, happy man. Food in both hands. Good little man. Oh.
Insects should form the main part of a squirrel monkey's diet, but no one knows what young Charlie's been given. But he's really enjoying them, and he's making a new friend in Donna.
Good boy. We know that he likes mealworms already, which we do have, but our squirrel monkeys are a fan of waxworms and locusts and all sorts of different insects, so it seems like Charlie is too, so that's good.
He's had a long day, but he doesn't seem daunted.
Charlie's in the marmoset house, settled down, eating quite a bit of food and seems quite chirpy and happy and looks pretty good. Little bend in the bottom of his tail, maybe. Reasonable way, leaping from branch to branch, he sort of is finding his balance, so I'm not sure that he's had much experience being able to leap properly like a normal squirrel monkey would, but that'll all come, and he seems fine, so leave him for tonight, and then tomorrow we'll have a look at his feces to make sure he doesn't have any parasites, and then start making decisions about getting him over to our squirrel monkeys if we think he's fit and healthy.
At just 2 years old, Charlie should hopefully be young enough to get over his past and start a whole new life with the other squirrel monkeys. There's repair work happening at the Bachelor's Chimp enclosure. The builders had to be called into their playroom when staff noticed Sammy had managed to prise a piece of concrete out of the wall. The group is having to spend more time outside until the work's finished.
Well, obviously you've got 15 adult male chimps in this group, you know, they're really strong. If they find something and they find a weakness, they will tend to focus on that. And this is an old building, you know, it's done really well housing them for many years. But once there's a weakness there and the chimps have found it, then, you know, we can't risk that. So we're going to need to get them out, get the workmen in, assess what's going on and do what renovations are necessary in that front playroom that the boys have access to.
They're doing everything they can to keep stress levels down whilst all the building work is going on.
We've given the Bachelor Boys lots of extra bedding and blankets. We have played around with our feeding schedule, so we've upped the amount of food that we're giving them and also the frequency with which we're offering those food items. So just making sure that there's plenty of food around, there's plenty of activities, you know, our enrichment's been increased as well. So lots of bedding, lots of blankets, lots of enrichment and plenty to eat.
Fat Sammy is making the most of the new feeding regime. He loves his food. The team had been trying to get weight off him, but at the moment, that's impossible.
Sammy's always been an animal that's liked his food and that's carried some extra weights and there's some health concerns that go along with that. So we've done a good job last year of getting some weight off him, but obviously we've had to up the diet now just to compensate for, you know, the skinnier boys and making sure they're getting enough. Sammy's of course capitalising on that. Whenever you restrict access for a group of animals, then the hierarchy, I guess, is going to be exaggerated so that those animals that are at the bottom of the the pecking order, like, you know, Paquito, Seamus, they are going to struggle a bit, and we've seen that in particular with Turkish Charlie.
Charlie was rescued from Turkey, where he'd been trained to do tricks for his own TV programme. The effects have been long-lasting.
We've seen an increase in Charlie's stereotypical behaviours. He's not moving well, he's not shifting with the group, his appetite seems to have decreased. We're worrying about, you know, how much he's eating and how much he's getting involved in group activities. So all of those indicators are telling us that he's not as happy as he could be and he should be. And he probably won't be until he gets that playroom back, but there's things that we can do in the meantime. So we've put him on some medication and we're keeping a close eye on him, and already we've seen an improvement. So fingers crossed, it's taking it each day as it comes and just riding this period out.
For the leaders of the group, including Butch and Paco, life goes on pretty much as usual. Whatever they want, they get, and they are keeping their place on top. Next time on Monkey Life. A new sister for woolly monkey Enzo.
We had no idea it was going to be last night, so obviously we're very excited this morning.
And squirrel monkey Charlie meets his new family.
It's pretty calm and relaxed, so I'm very hopeful that actually this is going to work out.